And we're going to wind up working probably through the palms, but also on the forearm extensors. They extend, right? And the forearm flexors that pull in into flexion. Forearm flexors, forearm extensors. A lot of massage therapists have problems with these because they're working with their hands. And if you're somebody who types at home, you'll develop a lot of tension through here. People tell me they have carpal tunnel. Well, usually they just have some muscle tension, especially in the early stages, that if we address that, a lot of those symptoms can go away. So grab your tennis ball. And I think, in my case, what I'm going to do is I'll lay here to the side so you can see me. I'm going to put this guy down, and if you feel more tension on your left side or right side, doesn't matter. We're going to work a little bit of both. I want to find my forearm extensors. Okay? Mine usually are a little more tender up towards the elbow, I find. This lower half, the muscles taper and they're much more thin. The forearm extensors, okay? This upper half is kind of thick. It's a little bit more muscular. You're going to get more bang for your buck working on this upper portion. So what I'm going to do is find the middle spot, and then I'm going to find the middle of that. That's about where I want the tennis ball to go. I'm going to stack this guy and see if I can find a spot where I can use my other hand to balance. Oh, right in there. So I've got this other hand wrapped around the tennis ball just to hold it in place because I want to gently be able to mobilize and move through here. If you fall off of the tennis ball, totally fine. And you'll see, because I'm on a hard floor, it's a little harder to balance. So if you've got a towel or a blanket, we're going to try this, see if we can make it hold in place, make it a little bit easier. I'm going to put this down, so this guy's going to sink. He's probably not going to roll quite as bad. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to use another one for just a support, give me something to back on. So I can kind of put my elbow, I think, on this blanket. There we go. And then put the forearm there. Ooh. Oh, right there. So I'm leaning in with this left hand, just apply a little pressure. The main thing that I feel is the tennis ball. Dunlop, if you want to sponsor me, please contact me. You want to feel the tennis ball pressing right into the forearm extensors up here. Anywhere through here is totally fine, so long as it doesn't feel sharp, so long as it doesn't feel painful, completely fine. You may feel some referred sensation down into the hand and arm. That's pretty normal. Getting a little bit of what I guess most people would call neuropathy, just a little bit of tingling. I'm going to come down. Ooh. Now, if I can stack this guy, and I can stack it even a little bit higher if I need to. It depends on you. Because when I sink down, what it is this is providing a platform which gives me just a little bit of difference between the height of the tennis ball and the height of the blanket so that I can sink in. I can essentially modify pressure with the prop. Oh yeah, right in there. Ooh. But now what's really nice is because I'm off the ground, I can move the hand backwards, which is shortening the forearm extensors. That's very intense. I'm going to pull the hand and arm up. If you feel like you want to express yourself to the Trump administration, feel free right now. And side to side, some movement. So here's the deal. If that's the good spot, if that's where you want to stay, I want you to play with range of motion. I'm going from about here, I want to be a little over here. I have a little more tension on this upper portion, so I'm going to roll and position there. I'm going to see if I can get, oh, there we go. Now, once I've got that, I want you to play with hand range of motion. These forearm extensors are pulling into the carpal tunnel, right? The carpal bones are in the palm. They're pulling down into here. We're also influencing probably the radial or the ulnar nerve or both going down the arm. I'm just trying to play with tension there. If you feel like you're a little low and you want to go higher, you want to go towards the elbow, just slightly reposition. It's your body. You can go at your own pace, and you can work on what feels most intense to you. What feels most beneficial? How many sun salutes have we done in this yoga class right now? He is smart, but he is not so smart. Yes. So we're going to hook down here. Let's see if I can get it closer to what I want my elbow. There we go. Open that guy up. Move it around and breathe. Movement through the hands, through the arms. And in my case, I'm going to switch out. We worked on the extensor side, and then I'm going to work on the flexor side. I'm going to show you a way of doing this. Let me see if I can put the tennis ball out of the way. Let's see. I'm going to take my, I have some blankets here. If you have a towel or a pillow, you can grab one. I'm going to try to create a high enough platform so that I can come in and put my forearm down here. Now, I could use like an elbow to push in here, but I want to show you how to do almost like a modified, not quite pigeon pose, but this is going to work our hip while we're using our leg to put leverage into the forearm flexors now. We were working the extensors before with the tennis ball. This time we're going into the flexors. Now, just like the extensors, they taper down towards the wrist. This lower half, very thin muscle. But this upper half, oh yeah, right in the middle of that, big, beefy muscle there. More room for error. We can take deeper compression. I'm going to hook the forearm there and then put my forearm, put my knee right in there. So when I lean in, I get a stretch through my right hip. I'm going to use this arm to reinforce so I can press. Now, I'm not manually moving my hand. I want you to watch this. I'm just letting this guy rest. When I press, you see it lift. You see it lift. You see it lift. It's because I'm pressing into those forearm flexors. Now, I can maintain a pretty good compression here. I'm going to scoot in just a little bit further in my case. I'm going to give myself some more leverage. I'm going to lift up. Ooh-wee. And I'm going to move this guy a little closer. There we go. Oh, man. So my fingers all curl in right here. This is a very deep compression. I'm going to slowly see if I can open those three fingers. And open the arm back. Now I'm losing blood flow through here. This is a big tourniquet in my arm. If you have problems with your hands and arms, this is a great thing to do to yourself. Very slowly, I'm getting a little bit tingly, a little bit numb in my hands. I'm going to slowly sit back down. And when I take the leg off, the blood flow is going to rush back into my hands. Whoo-wee. Big, broad pressure. I could do that same thing with the tennis ball, but I think the forearm there works better. This arm feels completely different at this point than this arm. I want you to lift both of them and move them around. Tell me what feels different now. The arm you worked on feels open, pliable, soft, mobile. This feels stiff. Feels stiff in comparison. So I'm going to switch out again. We're going to go back to what we were doing, but now we're going to work on the opposite arm. This time, in my case, I'm going to turn towards you because it'll make it a bit easier for you to see this. And forearm extensors, I'm going to put it on the blanket because that's going to hold it in place. You can do the same thing on a rug. I'm going to see if I can stack. And again, because of the way I'm rolling around, this is going to make it easier for me. I'm going to turn this guy. There we go. So I can stack the forearm right on, let's see if I can find the spot. Mine's a little bit closer to the elbow. Right there. Can shimmy back and forth, find the good spot, press into it. In my case, I'm going to have to explore, kind of move it around. There we go. Now I'm going to move the hand and wrist. I'm actively engaging the extensors and flexors, but the forearm extensors are what we're pressing into at the moment. Open the hand and wrist. Move around at the hand and fingers. If you don't like the palm, can you come in with the forearm? You can use any of that to be able to secure position. I'm going to move a little bit lateral and a little bit, there we go, higher towards the elbow in my case. Right there. And again, if you need to express yourself to the Trump administration, I will not hold that against you. It's not on recording. Nobody will get a chance to see it, but you can do that from the privacy of your own quarantine home. Ugh. Intense in a stretch or intense in pressure, if we're doing self-massage, is fine. Whatever gets your attention and gets you to focus, wow, that feels so different. Wow, that feels so much better. Is a totally fine thing. Intensity is okay. I don't want you to push so hard that you're sore, or push so hard that you overly, compress a nerve, especially through the forearm extensors. I've had people do that to me before. Now, we've worked on the forearm extensors. Let's pick another spot. In my case, mine's a little bit closer to my ulna here. I'm going to switch it up on this one. I have a little more tension on this left side. I'm left-handed. You guys are probably right-handed. I'm going to work, my fingertips right along the ulna. I can feel the bone right here, kind of sharp. But if I come just above it, I can hook the fingers. I can sort of support that pointer finger right into, right in there. This is what the tennis ball can't quite get into because it's too sharp. It's too pointed. The tennis ball isn't quite, excuse me. The tennis ball isn't sharp enough to get into this area, so I can use my fingers for just a minute just to access that and shake it out again. Now, I want to see if, just like before, we use that forearm knee, what I called almost like a modified pigeon, because when I lean forward, I'm getting this stretch down through this hip and gluteal compartment. I'm going to put my forearm down. I'm going to bring this guy in and see if I can lean in. And again, my body wants to be a little bit closer to the elbow. If I need to stack, I can. In my case, a little bit closer. Oh yeah, right there. Now again, if you'll notice my hand, my thumb and pointer finger are fine, but my middle, ring, and pinky finger have rolled in. I'm going to try to roll those guys open and lengthen through, the flexors right there. Now, I brought my body up. I needed a little more leverage. You guys might be able to get away without this. You can close into a fist. You can pump the fist several times. Now, I'm starting to get some numb across the fingertips, not so much in the palm. My fingers have gone exceedingly pale. I don't know if you can see that. Tons of pink on this hand, and this is pale. I'm going to slowly sit back and as slow as I can take pressure off, and I just feel blood just rush down into my hands and arms there. Shake it out. Open up. Move around. Where do we feel tension? What's going on? What do you feel after we've done that little bit? Where do you feel tension? Long term, I'm not always going to tell you what to do. I'm going to show you how to work on your own tension in a way that gets you to let stuff go. This next part, we're going to go right into the palms. We're going to see if we can work right through here to release some tension just through the palm itself. The tennis ball is a little bit broad, but we'll see how it works. If we have to, we can grab a golf ball. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to sit in a way that's comfortable. I'm going to put the tennis ball down and see if I can just put my palm on it. This is similar to what we did in the feet yesterday. Oh yeah. So you can work anywhere through the carpals, anywhere through this palmar surface that feels good to you. I want you to feel like your carpals are just mobilizing, stretching almost, like lengthening that tissue around the palm. And if you're anything like me, most people, opposable digits. This junction right here, the thenar eminence and adductor pollicis. adductor pollicis, part of the thenar eminence. Right over here can be very tender. I'm going to lean the tennis ball right into that spot and do a little, there we go. Oh yeah. Now, I'm going to use the other hand on top just to, ooh, okay. Oh, back off, Robert. Oh, right there. Now, I can move the hand and fingers, but I'm using that other hand to reinforce and just apply a little bit of pressure there. Creating a little bit of pointed compression right at adductor pollicis. What is it? Opponens pollicis. Some of the muscles there in the hand. I'm moving my thumb, opening my thumb out, trying to lengthen and access that. I'm going to move a little bit more towards the, oh yeah, right in there, towards the base of my palm, right near the wrist. Oh, that's such a good spot. Right there. Right. Breathe. Several good breaths in and out through the nose. No tension. I'm going to pick another spot. Now I'm going a little bit more lateral, a little bit to the outside of the hand here. 3 little spots I found that felt kind of, oh yeah, right there. Oh boy. Yo. Ooh. Ooh. Now, a little bit of roll. I was using a little bit more static compression. Now I'm going to roll through the thenar eminence there. Now, the thenar eminence, these fibers go down like this. What I'm finding is if I cross fiber with the tennis ball, if I press across the fiber is where I'm getting the most like benefit. Where the part where it feels like, ooh, that like sweet level of tension right through there. Oh. Oh. Ooh, yeah. Now this is my right hand. I'll probably feel a little more tension on my left. You guys are probably grimacing over there. But again, just within the range that your body can accept. Don't force. You don't have to push. This isn't mean. It's not aggressive. You're just working on yourself. Now I'm going to switch it out. As I come forward, I just want to feel for a second. What's the difference now in the hands? Think about how our feet felt yesterday. Ah! Do you see the difference with this left hand now and the right hand? This right hand feels open. Like it's easy to move, where it feels like I'm almost straining to move. Like the muscles are working harder on this left side. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to find a spot. Lean in. Oh, yeah. If you can move the fingers, mobilize the carpals, working the muscles of the hands, feel free. Intense is okay. Sharp and painful, back off. Never, ever, ever. If it's sharp and painful, easy. Easy going. One of the worst things ever is to hear people injuring themselves in yoga class. No, yoga's supposed to make you feel nice so you can sit and breathe and meditate. It's not designed to create a situation where you can injure yourself. I'm going to move, find another spot. So instead of being down over here, I felt like I was having more tension up over towards the pointer finger. I'm trying to find where's the sweet spot on this palmar surface. Little circles for me. Right in. Oh, yeah. Right in there. I'm using the right hand just to reinforce. There's not a lot of grip. It's more that the hand is just leaning in to provide a little more pressure. You can move the fingers around all always breathe. If you breathe in and out through the nose, that's great. If for some reason you can't breathe through the nose, maybe you're congested, hopefully you don't have COVID. Oh God, I hope you don't have coronavirus and you're doing yoga with. You can breathe through the mouth, but if I ever want to release a lot of tension, I'll take a big in-breath through the nose and then relax the jaw. I'm rolling through, just exploring, and again, right in my thenar eminence, right at opponens pollicis, adductor pollicis, right in the thumb, the thenar eminence, right in there. Oh. In my case, I can do two things at once now. I'm going to work on my neck, mobilize and lengthen while I'm delivering pressure here. If I need to stack, I can. There we go. Breathe. No tension. Let it go. Working through the palm. This is my tighter side. It's a little tighter on the left. I'm going to, again, cross fiber friction right across the thenar eminence. Right across. Oh, right there. Oh, I found a good spot. So it just like my hand lit up. Like I feel this broad sort of sensation across the palm right there. I'm going to hang out there for just a second, leaning in, applying some pressure. And roll again, right, through there. Hands and self-care, right there. Holy moly. And backing off, I'm going to put the tennis ball to the side. I want you to shake out your hands. I want you to move them around now and tell me what you feel. What's going on through there? What do you feel through the hands now? I still have a general sensation on this left side. It feels like it was a little more dense, a little tighter here, but the hands feel very open. This whole area that we've worked now, forearm extensors, forearm flexors, and then the palmar surface of the hand, like this feels very open. There's a little tenderness, a little soreness here. I can use my fingers. Oh yeah, right there. Now, I can do this, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with massaging this area on myself. How fast would my hands get tired? Yeah. One of the reasons I like using tools like a tennis ball or a golf ball is it's going to be able to sink down into this area and work on it without feeling like you're beating yourself up. It's always good after you've used a big tool to open this area to come in with a finger and be able to apply a little bit of pressure. Feels really nice. It's kind of opened up. It's easier to work now with our fingers.